No, actually, I'm gonna give some clear shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay, corny shit. Okay. Yo, welcome back. For the first time, it's your guy, Danny DiNero, joined with me.
Coco.
And welcome to the first episode of our YouTube series that we're going to follow you through the entire football season. Episode 1. So, 2020, what a year. What a year it's been. Last year, a whole lot better. Clearly because sitting to my right, to your left, last year's Station Casino 2019 winner, the last woman standing, Ms. Coco. I'm assuming she's trying to run it back this year, but I got an entry in as well this year, so we'll probably just go heads up, see who gets it. But of course, either one of us get it. It's like it's both getting it, so it is what it is. So yeah, hopefully this time it doesn't last till week 16.
I think that's what I was mainly thinking about today I'm like, was it 16? I swear 16. It was 17. I was for some reason I was like, man, we could have potentially won sooner. But I mean, whoever I was going toe to toe with really was giving me a run for my money. I would love to still meet that person. Yeah. I don't know how I would hunt this person down or...
Well, maybe they'll find you.
Maybe they'll find me, especially this year. I mean, I welcome it. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with you. I think it would be interesting because for the main reason is when I step forward that I won, I don't think people were expecting me. One, because I'm a woman, so I get it. It was like, oh, last man standing. I'm like, but I'm a woman, though.
Right.
So that alone was... I mean, I love stuff like that. If you know me, you know I love that proved you wrong or whatever, but I love stuff like that. So I think that was the first thing on my mind around this go around, even through signing up and talking to everybody and how the contest this year has kind of changed. Was dang man, can we get this done sooner? I'm trying to just... I would love to cut that time in half. Let's just get this over with. But I mean, it was fun. It definitely brought out the best in me for this last year's competition. And I mean, I'm grateful the competition is back regardless, especially with everything going on in the news. It was kind of iffy if sports was even really coming back whatsoever. So I'm excited for this year. So pretty much... the new competition, so if anybody is Vegas natives, now, or obviously you have to be in Vegas to be entered into the station contest. Now what they're doing, instead of just a big pot, a big winning, what they're doing is, I believe it's 100% of all entry fees. So everyone that enters, the amount of people that enter or how many total entries, because sometimes it's a little iffy because you can just do one entry and it's $25. Or if you do all, what is it?
5 max.
You do 4 and they give you the 5th one free. So pretty much it's a maximum of $100 per person. But it can be as low as $25. So pretty much the pool is going to be at least bare minimum 25 times how many entries there are. But obviously it could be up to more if you do the max. If you're already investing the $25, you definitely should just invest that $75 and get 5 entries, or 5 picks pretty much. So that was something that they changed this year. I understand it because a lot of the casinos took a big hit when Corona hit. So I see why they kind of did that. It's just, they really don't have anything to lose that way. So, the total entry fees, it's look, they just hold it, kind of I'm holding it for you, and you win, here's your money, yada, yada.
Yeah, because last year they was spotted, regardless of how many people signed up. The bare minimum was 150,000.
Right. So they could have really, I get it. They could have really lost out on that if like a real small amount of people played.
Right.
And they ended up putting up the bill. But I mean, let's be real. Football season, while you're doing those picks, I mean, granted, like, I probably didn't play, like, when I went, how I had my system where I was putting my picks in, I wasn't, like, betting or gambling that day, usually. It was kind of, like, on some slick shit, like, I would go early in the morning to my, like, set spot, in and out kind of thing. I wasn't hanging out all day. But most people, I'm sure, were either returning that day and, like, chilling, and, you know, you go to the casino, you gamble, you eat, you drink. They know what they're doing. They're getting their money regardless. Like, you go and you get free drinks, but come on, how much money did you just put in that machine? How much did you lay down at the sports book? How much did you lose at the blackjack table? Get the fuck out of here. So they know what they're doing. That's the whole gimmick, just for the free drinks alone. So this year, like, I get it. They did it this way to pretty much have their money up front. Like, this is the winnings. So, but I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. I mean, you know, you gotta look at the positive and the negative. I mean, the big positive for me with it is, you know, I'm sure there's going to be enough entries to where the pot is still going to be at least $100,000. But look, maybe the less people, maybe it'll end sooner, you know?
Right. I mean, that too.
Because the year before the one you won, I believe it ended at like week 13, week 14, something like that. It didn't go to 16, like, and it was crazy because last year, once it got to like week 11, week 12, I think it was down to already like a dozen people.
Yeah.
But then like every week, only like 2 people were losing. So it was just...
That's how it felt like the last couple weeks for me. It was really... I'm over here like, come on.
It wasn't until the
end of... Cut that shit in half.
It wasn't until the end of week 15 when it finally said 2 entries left. And that's when it was like, oh, mama. Like, it's you and one other. Right. And it's crazy because you guys both won and lost by the hook.
Right, and that's how shit be. I swear to God,
won and lost by the hook. It's like that's how it always is.
Man, I think the whole contest, like, I obviously I did it like for fun. I mean, I love sports, especially football. If you know me, my set days off are Sunday, Mondays. I refuse to work on a Sunday. I'm like, when football's back in action, that's like my football day. I want to chill. I want to drink mimosas. I want to watch football.
Exactly.
I'm either going to be really happy at that day or I'm going to be really pissed off. Like, that's my set, like, my chill day. And so I think throughout the whole contest, it was just, like, getting realer and realer where I'm like, damn, I'm still really in this. Like, and then obviously those numbers were going down. And exactly when it got under 100, under 50, under 25, and it was just like, oh my God, like, damn, really made it. And it was like 6,000 entries or some crazy shit. Mm-hmm. So it was a good feeling.
You know when it felt real? Because I had, not last year, but the year before that, I had took a year off from doing it. Because that year before that, I had made it. Was it it was like 12?
You made it to the last 12.
It was like the last 12 I made it to, and then I lost. So once you made it past that, that's when I felt like, oh, you know what? Can actually win this thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And then that was crazy too, because that year that I lost, when I was down in the last 12, like that was by like week 10.
Yeah. So I'm like, dragging this to week, please, let's not drag it. I'm trying to get this done by week 10. Like,
yeah, I mean, listen, I'm sure it's going to be all kinds of fuckery.
There's always fuckery. And you know what? I swear to God, I think that was my biggest positive is I felt like I accounted for the fuckery. Mm-hmm. Of course, that shoulda, coulda, woulda shit. Mm-hmm. He should have made that field goal. He should have caught that motherfucking ball, but he didn't. So I think like that was the best part for me is I'm like, I think in the beginning of the day, I'm like, you know what? Who could fuck me today? Like, not who could.
Look, everybody raising their hands. No.
Sit down, sir. And that might seem like negative thinking, but I'm like, no, I'm a realist. Like, I'm like, I really thought like, I'm not touching this fucking game today because I feel like, you know what? If anyone was going to fuck me over, it's going to be this team today.
Yeah. So
I think like that helped me a lot. It might not work for you that way. That's fine. We not the same.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that was my biggest thing is like, that's how I always walked into my picks and my plays for that week with the potential upsets. So I definitely kept that in the back of my mind with every single pick, every single play. It was heavily considered every single time. I kept it consistent with like the days that I played, how and when I went and put my picks in, all of that. I kept it consistent. Obviously, it came through. I'm just looking forward to a real good NFL season. I mean, there's been a lot of changes to the NFL. You know, like teams have lost really good players to other teams. We've lost players to their fuck shit that are just not playing anymore right now.
You talking about Antonio Brown?
Man, I feel so... Anyways.
I should have just dyed this blonde and I could just look like him. No? Okay.
Yeah, if he does that, cancel that.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's winner takes all, so I'm not going to give you guys, like, all the way what to do, but I will leave you with this piece of advice. When it comes to the spread, if it looks too good to be true, probably is. That's all I got to say about that. So, who do you like before the kickoff? Like who's
for a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I don't know if I really.
Give me your top 4 teams to make it.
My top 4 teams.
Yeah, like if you was gonna lock in some future bets, who you taking? Is Patrick Mahomes and his $500 million contract going back to the Super Bowl?
First up, like, here comes my negative thinking.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, and it sucks because obviously I did very well with him on Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I have lots of faith in him. But that's that shit. You gonna pay him? I don't know. That's one of the ones. And it's funny that I was just talking about this. Their first game is literally the first game. Like, they right back on the bullshit. And I'm just like, I'm not fucking with that game. Like, I'm not. I'm gonna watch it. But I'm not fucking with that game.
Oh, yeah? That's not going to be one of your last man standing picks?
No. Just saying.
That's actually going to be one of my picks.
What is it? May the odds be forever in your favor.
Oh, I'm not taking the Chiefs, though.
Oh, see, and that's exactly why. I'm like, see? He's gonna throw all his money down the drain. So I don't think so. I could be wrong. I could be. It's one of those where I'm just like, I'm just not fucking with it for them. I would like to see the Raiders. I would like to. I'm gonna star them. I would like to see the Raiders. I'm gonna say the Vikings, Raiders
and Vikings, huh?
49ers.
49ers is going back? Okay.
And I'm gonna say the Bucks.
And the Bucks. She's going with Brady. Okay. All right.
If I just had to freestyle, that's who I'm gonna originally fuck with.
So I gotta be devil's advocate. I'm gonna pick 4.
Forever.
I'm gonna pick 4.
What's it? What's the opposite?
Oh,
Did you skip?
They call me Skip.
Skip.
I'm the Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless.
You Uncle Shay Shay?
Yep. Look.
You said 49ers,
I
Raiders.
said 49ers, Raiders, Bucks, and Vikings.
And Vikings. Okay. I'm going to live on the dangerous side. I'm going to go Ravens. Yeah, put a little D or something right there for me. I'm going Ravens, Seahawks, Packers.
He doing this on purpose, y'all. Okay, one more.
And here's my wild card. New England Patriots.
I had a feeling. I knew it. I knew they was going to get brought up. I knew these fuckers were going to get brought up.
Of course they get brought up, just like Cam's hair.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's the future. That's the future bets I'm taking, if I'm taking anything. Yep. So I guess we'll revisit that.
I know. I'm keeping all my shit.
After like 4 games.
I'm keeping all my. Like, I'm gonna really try and like document all my stuff, like my process, my thoughts, like just out of my own curiosity. If something comes from it, cool. If it turns into gibberish, all right, cool.
Hey.
Then I just don't make sense.
Hey, another $100,000. Maybe that come from it.
Right. That's the goal.
That's what homework's for.
Exactly.
I do find it it's very curious that we got it's very curious that we have 4 picks each, 8 different ones for Super Bowl odds, and Chiefs isn't one. That should be very telling.
I'm telling you.
That should be very telling.
Just because you gave him that bag does not mean he's going to perform. And I don't mean I ain't got nothing wrong with him. I had a great time this last Super Bowl. Won some money. I was coming off of a really good high. For some reason, I'm just...
I'll say that was one hell of a high. They was down by 10 points and came back and then won by 10 points.
That's what I'm saying. And I wasn't even really pressed that whole time. I'm just like, something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. It's like the other team was up and it was looking real good. And guess what were they doing? They were celebrating.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they was practically fucking trying that ring on, man. Like,
well, this is what they did wrong. 49ers are a known running team. You use the run game to put you up by 10 in the Super Bowl. And you decide to pass.
That's what I mean. They
keep running and burn the clock out.
They were celebrating. They were like, they thought like it was free for all. Like, oh, we good, we got it. No. Do not count any kind of money that is not in your hand. I swear to God, I'm going to be an old lady preaching this shit. Like, you see something in my hand? I don't.
That is.
I'm not going to count shit that ain't there.
Yep.
And that's what they did. They was counting money that was not there.
Until that buzzer sounds. Until you get it from the table, it ain't yours. You ain't got it yet. It's just a piece of paper, a plastic chip, or a voucher.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And we could be completely wrong. Patrick Mahomes could pretty much wilding out and pretty much tell us to fuck ourselves. By all means, boo-boo, do you get 3 or 4 games in wilding out, and then I'll fuck with you.
I mean, I definitely think they're gonna make the playoffs. I just don't think they're gonna make the Super Bowl this year. That's all. I think either Ravens. I think either Ravens or Patriots will probably knock them out. Honestly. Yeah. So Thursday night football tonight.
Thursday night.
Who do you like tonight?
So without looking at, I pay attention to the spread. I used to just obviously I always look at picks in 2 different ways. Who do I think would just, if it was just a matchup, flat out win, and then the spread. So Thursday night is obviously, we just talked about Kansas City Chiefs against Houston Texans.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Chiefs to win. Flat out, definitely think they'll win. But then I checked the spread. And that +9, man. So I definitely think I would take the Texans +9. That would be, if I was going to bet money, I would. It's funny
If you're betting on the side, you're taking Texans.
I'm taking the Texans. Would I put one of my picks on that bitch? No.
Let's see where it's at right now. Yeah, it's still at 9.
Still at 9. So I would definitely take Texans +9.
Yeah, I like if I'm picking a side, I'm taking Texans. As far as the over under, I'm not touching it.
I didn't look at that. What was the over under on that game?
It's 54. But
I think I would take the under on that.
Because I think this is my prediction. This is my bold prediction. I think the second half of the game is going to be
to 54.
A close under. It's 54.5. I think the second half of the game is going to be very close. I think Chiefs are going to go into halftime with the lead, and Texans are going to spend the second half coming back. And I think that's where the backdoor cover is going to come from. I do kind of like the first half over 27 because I feel like it's going to be a little loose in the beginning. And I can easily, these are like two of the like top 5 quarterbacks in the league. I could easily see
like
four touchdowns being scored in the first half. Because that's all it's going to take to hit over 27. 4 touchdowns. And hell, 3 of them could be from the Chiefs. So I might sprinkle a little something on the Chiefs first half money line with the over 27. If you don't feel comfortable taking the Chiefs money line and you do want to play something in the first half, I would probably just take just the first half over 27. But as far as for the full game, I'm taking Texans all day. And shop around. That's real important when it comes to the lines. Shop around. You might see one place might have it +9. One place might have it +9.5. Another place maybe might have it +10. You never know. So definitely shop around on that. If you don't mind eating a little bit of the juice, buy half a point. Buy a full point. Because let's say you find a +9, right? Let's say before kickoff, +9 is the best you can find. It might not hurt to go to stations and buy a full point and get it to +10. I mean, it's going to cost you -130, so that's going to eat up a little bit. So, it's going to take $130 to make $100. But that 1 point just might save you. So you never know. Just depending on how you feel, just go off the energy. That's another important thing when it comes to betting. Go off the energy. When you go into a casino, everybody and their grandma in there is talking about, oh man, this is way too easy. Chiefs all day.
Don't believe those suckers.
Those are the ones you want to fade.
Avoid.
I call it fade the public. Yeah, because not every time, but more times than not, you're going to win when you fade those characters. I can't tell you how many times I go into a casino. As a matter of fact, I was just in a casino a couple of days ago, and the same thing happened during an NBA bubble, the playoffs. Guy was in there talking about, yeah, man, see, I told you Heat had this. I told you Miami had this. I'm a professional.
Man, I laid my soul on the opposite team.
I'm sitting there eating my wings, watching the game. And this is right after Giannis got injured. Fast forward, Bucks ended up winning the game without Giannis. So, like I said, just go off the energy. Because Vegas wasn't built overnight.
Mm-mm.
It took a whole lot of those people
to build this
place. Because trust me, Vegas will close up overnight if all they were doing was just paying people. So you just got to learn how to navigate. Be consistent. Show discipline. And go with your gut. Always go with your gut. Whatever your gut says.
Because I promise you, you will be a lot. It's not gonna make sense right away. You'll be a lot happier losing with your own plays than someone else's. At least you made that decision.
Yep.
Because I guarantee you're gonna be tight. Like, damn it, I shouldn't have listened to so and so.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Listen.
It's your money. Why would you listen?
If Chiefs win by 30 points tomorrow, don't be in my inbox talking shit.
But like, listen, I told you I wasn't fucking with that game from the first place.
I'm just telling you my opinions on the game. Am I gonna play something on it? Yeah, I'll probably play a little something on it. But
was I concerned from the get-go? Yes.
Oh, definitely. If this was a Sunday game, I'd probably be betting on something else and then just watching this game.
Right.
This is definitely going to be a good one to watch, for sure. And then Inplay. If you see an opportunity of a good Inplay, take it. Watch the game and see how it's going. See how the flow is going. I'll tell you this. If I see Texans go up by 2 touchdowns and it's 14-0, and now all of a sudden Chiefs is plus 150 to win the game, I'm taking Chiefs now because now I'm ahead of the game.
First of all, we've seen them do it before.
1, we've seen them do it before. And 2, all they got to do is win. And I'm getting paid time and a half as opposed to hoping they win by double digits just to get minus 110.
No.
So you definitely want to look at the value. Value is so important. So important. But that's it for our first episode. As the games go on, as the weeks go by, you guys will get an insight on kind of how we do this, and you'll hopefully sharpen your skills as well and hopefully make some money. Shout out to the ones that joined the Fantasy Football League last minute. Last minute, I decided to put together a 16-team league, so we're gonna give you guys a little bit of fantasy football pointers here and there throughout the season, let you know who's hot, who's not, who you should pick up, who you should drop, things of that nature. And football's back, baby.
Yay. Excited.